All the animals come out at night. Whores, skunk pussies, buggers, queens, fairies, dopers, junkies. Sick, venal. Someday a real rain will come and wash all this scum off the streets.
Now for a classic review. Believe it or not, this is supposed to be based, the movie originally is supposed to be based on a novel by Dostoevsky called Notes for the Underground, until Paul Schrader wrote the script to Martin Scorsese and presented him with Taxi Driver. The great Robert De Niro plays Travis Bickle, an existentialist taxi driver. What an interesting combination. He approaches the streets as some sort of battlefield, but like a street that has full of scum that needs to be cleaned up. Taxi Driver just layers on layer and layer of brilliance. The soundtrack is great. Has this very kind of like jazz-esque kind of element. It was composed by Bernard Herrmann, who did music for Hitchcock. And the opening sequence is great. It's like these colors of and like water on the screen, and it sets a perfect tone for the movie. Scorsese is not afraid to appear in his own works. There's one great scene where he's in the taxi cab talking to De Niro, and they really kind of cut to the core of the darkness of human nature, which really is a very important aspect of exposition for the movie.
See the woman in the window? Do you see the woman in the window?
Yeah.
You see the woman? So I want you to see that woman because that's my wife. I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her with a .44 Magnum pistol. I have a .44 Magnum pistol. I'm gonna kill her with that gun.
Believe it or not, in this kind of movie, there is sort of an odd love story. He meets a girl named Betsy, played by Sybil Shepherd, and completely botches it by taking her to the movies. Scorsese's always been obsessed about characters that go to the movie to escape into different realities. There's so many great things to talk about Taxi Driver that I don't have the time on this show to possibly do it. But there are too many great shots. One, the classic shot for me, one of my favorites, is when he's on the telephone, the camera pans away to a lonely hallway, showing the inner loneliness, but it personifies Travis Bickle in such a frightful way.
Some flowers, well, okay. Can I call you again? Tomorrow or the next day? Okay. No, I'm gonna, okay, yeah, sure, okay. So long.
Taxi Driver just gets more and more intense. Eventually there's a street hooker, a very young street hooker played by Jodie Foster. This is like her breakthrough role, and she did it when she was like 13. The movie gets darker in the sense that the character ultimately decides to end himself on carnage, and something completely over the top but perfect happens in the end. There's obviously the "You Talking to Me" scene, which is improvised. It was unbelievably acted by Robert De Niro.
You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
This is a great movie. It's, again, second best, number one. I said I would talk about somewhere else, but we all know it's Goodfellas. I think that's your favorite too.
Yeah.
Great movie though. I love Taxi Driver. Awesome.
Yeah, so to see it, right? Yeah, of course it is.
Skip it.
No, I agree with you. This is, the first time I watched this, I will admit that I didn't get it. Okay? Like I just thought it was some guy driving around trying to make a difference, and that was it.
This movie reeks of point, Jason.
I know. And then you watch it again. And it blows your mind away because you just did not expect so much subtext to come back from what he's saying. Like every line he says, he's like, this street needs to be cleaned up. And then he starts talking to his friends. One of them played by Peter Boyle. He's just talking to his friends about some of the most weird and obscure stuff. It's like there's something mentally wrong with this guy. But he is a good man because you root for him. He is sort of a stick it to the man kind of guy. He's sort of an anti-hero.
A rebel with a cause.
A rebel with a cause. Yeah,
I like that. But what else is really cool? I wonder when the movie originally came out if people would have. How they would advertise is like, this is a taxi driver going to kill people, and that would have put a lot of fright in people, like, oh, taxi drivers, that would be interesting what it would be about. But this is a perfect vocation for a character who goes on a murderous spree basically by the end.
You know what's interesting is that when this movie was going to come out, it was going to be X-rated, and it wasn't even going to make it to anybody under 18. And then what they did was in the final sequence they changed the hue of the blood so that it would be fine. And it made it even better. Now reached the point of the show where there's a movie that you really don't need to see this weekend. And that movie, of course, is Case 39.
38.
Starring Renee Zellweger.
38.
And Bradley Cooper. Studios have this thing where if a movie that is made by their studio isn't considered good enough, they will shelve it and maybe bring it back in a few years. This happens to be one of those movies, and yeah, like, you can just look at the trailer and tell this is going to be below sea level garbage. It's just, like, you know, she saves a 10-year-old girl from being abused or raped or whatever it is, and of course she isn't what she seems, and we have a bunch of jump scares, we have a bunch of cool special effects, and we have some artsy shots, and we all go home happy. Seriously. Parker, you still awake there?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah? Alright, I know.
Father?
You pretty much sum up this movie right there. Why? Like, at least Let Me In was a remake of something that was good.
Whatever.
You know what?
I hadn't even heard of this. Like, I knew the title. I didn't even know what it was about. We had to, like, hunt on IMDb.
Yeah, I know. We're like, where is this? What is this about? Like, you know, just nobody cares.
This is air. This is vacuum. This is nothing.
I know. It's just
like, why? You know, Renee Zellweger, I can't stand as
I know. I can't stand her. She's not necessarily box office death because Bridget Jones, like, you know, made like a ton of money, but it's just, will she open her eyes?
Thank you guys so much for watching The Final Take. We're going to be back next week with Ryan Reynolds and Barry, Nowhere Boy, a music biopic, and the 4-hour epic Mesrine, parts 1 and 2. Should be a very interesting show.
This is right. And we'll also be continuing our classic review with a well-known Stanley Kubrick movie, and we're going to be introducing our over-under segment.
But for now,
you watch movies.
we give you The Final Take. See you later.